very happy to be here, share the rural revitalization experiences in China with others. And I think that nowadays, the rural revitalization is a top priority national strategy in mainland China. That's because we have done more than 100 years rural reconstruction. We have historical experiences, but never China facing the challenge of the crisis. Rural reconstruction always be very important base for crisis soft landing. Maybe you know that what is a hard landing, what is soft landing. Hard landing means a large number of people have no life. Their family break. And people even dying in a lot of disasters. So that's miserable. But if you do have some base, you can make the crisis soft landing. Give you an example. In the year 1997, there is a kind of East Asian financial turmoil. In Thailand, in Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and even South Korea, and so and so. And most of these countries, their financial system bankrupted. A lot of factories closed down. A large number of people lay off. So it's almost destroyed these countries' economy. But when they come to China, the crisis come to China, even come to Hong Kong. And because that time they are started to initiate the local instruction for the both rural and urban at that time, in the late 1990s, we solved the problems of unemployment. We stopped that this a large number of the enterprises bankruptcy. So since the late 1990s, China did have the experience to know that how to use the internal investments, especially the physical investments, to save the crisis inside. And then the year 2007, 2008, there is a Wall Street financial turmoil taking place. A large number of these foreign contract gave up, and overseas demand also decreased. And the 60,000 enterprises bankrupted. 25 million workers lay off. So this just 10 years later, we have the second crisis. And also caused by that time, China initiates the new socialist construction in countryside. That is a national strategy. Large number of the physical investments into the countryside. We made almost all of these administrative village to set up 5 communication. That is a pavement road, pipe water, and gas, and electricity, and internet. So by that, a lot of layoff workers regain the cash income by joining the rural reconstruction. So that is the second time. Nowadays, we have the third time. Since 2018, American President Trump tried to sanction China, block China, and try to stop China grow up. So since then, we also have a lot of trouble. A large number of these foreign invested enterprises, they run out from China. Withdraw. And also large number of the workers, especially the workers, they are originally migrants workers from countryside. They also lost the job. The number every year is 25 million. Every year we have 3 to 4 million individual business closed down. We have 400,000 limited company closed down. So a large number of enterprises bankrupted, and 25 million workers lay off every year. So it's a big crisis happened. But nobody gave the report. Nobody know that, because most of these large crises happened will turn to the social chaos. But in China, no, because that these people can come back to the countryside, their families still be there, their village still be there. So this time we initiate 7 trillion Chinese yuan. It's almost more than $1 trillion to make this large number of the investments going to the countryside for infrastructure construction and the social construction, to make the room of the employment in countryside enlarge than in the coastal area in this foreign investments enterprises area. So that is China facing the big challenge, facing the global crisis. But this time it's a globalization bankrupted, not by our developing country, by United States and other Western countries. They wouldn't like to keep globalization. They want to break it up. So now this crisis is global crisis. It's the leading country gave up the globalization. They want to have a kind of new regional integration. So the big change, that changes structure. So how can you meet this crisis? I think that we need to go back to the internal construction. So China is a big population country. Large number of the people live in countryside. Up to now, we still have a 600 million population in countryside. Big enough. Maybe not the biggest. Maybe it's less than India. But in China, it's also big enough. So how to mobilize the society, the social power to join the rural revitalization, for maintain the stability, prevent the crisis impact the domestic affairs. That is the big challenge. But not now. Let me tell you that rural reconstruction is a long-term history in China since imperialist country attacked China, try to occupy, try to separate China as a maybe many part, because China is too big. So separate China will be more easy to ruling by imperialists. So in the 19th century, you all know the Opium War. Before Opium War, China is 1/3 of the total GDP of the world. China is the top 1 international trade country. 38% of the world trade created by China. So also China import a lot of silvers, and then created the European countries have a silver crisis and then silver war. They fight more than half century of the Civil War. And then they sent the immigration people to the South America to rob the silvers and then gave to China to buy these commercial goods. That is in the early 19th century. And because of the trade deficits in Europe, it's very severe to harm their local economy. So they initiate opium war, try to transport opium. It's a drugs, by drug trade to make the balance. So that is originally, since that time, China became weak and weak. And the late 19th century, some of these Chinese entrepreneur, we said it's a social entrepreneur. Social entrepreneur originally taking place in the late 19th century in China, because these entrepreneurs, they want to have a local comprehensive development, not only take money from their business, they take almost all their profit, reinvest into the social construction, into the infrastructure construction. They built up, in one city, one in social entrepreneur, he in name of the village construction, he believes that we only maintain our village to make our people can have a livelihood, and then whatever I have can be safe, can be sustained. So he, as a one single entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, he invests almost the whole of his interest, his returns into the constructions. So that is the beginning of the rural reconstruction in China. That is 1895. So late 19th century, since that time. And then one the 1920s, caused by a lot of new middle class grow up in the urban area. And large number of the rural people, because of the domestic industrialization, the urbanization, they need to take too much interest from the countryside. So the countryside run out. And then one side is revolution. You know that we have Red Army. We have a revolution. The revolution in name of land reform. In the land revolution, we have a 3 times land revolution. Millions of people died in the land revolution. That is a mainstream. Another side, we also have a lot of people. They are social elites. They are intellectual. They are social entrepreneurial. They went to the countryside, trying to do something for the peasants. So that is from 1920s. Dr. Arjun very familiar with Dr. Yan. James Yan. And Liang also very familiar with James Yan. Yes, you all know that from 1920s. But 1920s is some kind of elites. They organized a social movements also in name of rural reconstruction. So that's 30 years ago. Now we are the third generation. Yeah, I'm aging people now, but we have a lot of young people. Maybe later you can hear the young people how to take the course to move this rural reconstruction going on. But nowadays we have become a kind of the big social network because we have mobilized many millions middle class in urban area. Because urban, the people have no safety in urban. Dirty air, dirty water, and some disqualified food, even that is produced by the factory. So when you are a kind of middle class, can you just protect yourself and your family? No. So nowadays we mobilize a lot of people in urban, make them to link with the rural reconstruction. So we have now moved the rural reconstruction movements into the urban area. So, and then we also have a lot of small groups going down for the cultural regeneration. Do you know that we have a 5,000 years history? The history exactly maintained by the culture. The culture is in local, not in the mega city. So that is also very important. By what? By organize the villagers join the village song. The village have a kind of public song. They have their history. They have their stories. And then to make people understand we are a man or we are a woman just because we are in the community. The community is a very important for maintain all the people have a livelihood. They have a spiritual sport, whatever. So these rural reconstruction become more and more regenerated, upgraded, and then more people join this social movements. Make this social movements because the biggest social network in mainland China. Okay, I finish. Thank you.